Greetings, Bushy here. Today we are going to talk about what makes Delta Force so great to play and why Enders is clueless when it comes to the gaming industry and the way things work in the real world. Hold on, there should be a clip here of me on a jet ski inside an underground base, passing a tank on my left shooting a boat. But hey, according to Enders, Delta Force is just an extraction game that throws in maps that pretend to give you a massive battlefield type feel. In his latest video, Delta Force Waste of Time, since his last video, Why I Stopped Playing Delta Force, a week ago, and one day after streaming Delta Force for 2 hours, he calls the game total garbage and rants and continues to lie. I'm going to address many of his gripes and explain why Delta Force succeeds. Nearly 200,000 concurrent players. And the plain and simple fact that the internet doesn't revolve around Ender's gaming chair. Part 1. Where are the players? Matchmaking falls into this category. Some of you might experience 63 out of 64 players while waiting for a game to load, but this is in fact accelerating the progress at the end syndrome, but in reverse. You can Google how progress bars actually display to the human brain rather than the time it takes. Remember, if you live in North America, there is a 3-hour difference between New York and LA. So prime time 9 PM gaming slot on the East Coast is only 6 PM on the West Coast. Players are just getting in from work, making dinner, looking after children, etc. Where in Europe, apart from the UK, which is 1 hour difference, sometimes, it changes twice a year. Everybody is in the same pool of players at the same time. It's 9 o'clock for the whole of Europe, which is, if you're wondering, 44 countries. We're very privileged to play in Europe, I have to say. If you're in Indonesia, then you might have trouble finding a match. Part 1 and a bit. 94% of the game's income is from China. This is their main player base. Please remember that, because East and West are very different. I'm going to explain where and how. Delta Force is free to play. It's a massive combined arms first-person shooter, extraction game, and has a 6 to 8 hour campaign mode, none of which is pay to win. Their business model is a seasonal battle pass and skins. Every player is equal and only their skill will set them apart. Almost 1 billion installs is from Indonesia, where smartphones are way cheaper than PCs, and the average Steam game costs 35% of a monthly income, but a seasonal battle pass is affordable to all. Also, Asian players are completely different to their Western counterparts. Their attitude towards gaming and behaviour is what I want to address and break down. When I used to play in tournaments, before streaming was a thing, I could quite merrily play for 16 to 18 hours a day, no problem. Asian players might play for an hour or two, and then they're more than content. They go on to do studying or intermingle with their family. That's what Asians do. Westerners sit alone in their bedrooms, although they are playing online, where Indonesian players go to social cafes with friends and play as a group. Okay, this is where I'm going to alienate 99.9% of my viewers. I've been fortunate enough to be invited to play in Asia in the past. They don't go for kills. Some do, but the majority play for the team. You won't believe how many revives you would get on an Asian server compared to an American server. It really is chalk and cheese. Part 2. Content. Ender's moans about content. Before I explain this, I just want to correct one of his many lies. He states that we've waited 8 months for a single map, and the last map, Trench Lines Night, was just lowering the shaders of an already existing map. This is totally BS. 6 months, not 8, and we got 2 warfare maps, and the Trench Lines Night actually came out 3 months ago. I don't know where he gets this 8 months from. He's a little bit slow, so I imagine time passes slower for him. Asian players don't scream for content. They prefer gameplay mechanics, teamwork, and characters they care about. That's why Luna is so buff in this game. And yes, I want to marry Ma Wen. Western gamers want constant cycling of content. You know why? Streaming and YouTube. That's what they want. That's what they need. Oh, I must have a new gun. I must have a new map. It's not like that for the rest of the world. For hell better. Battlefield 2042 only released 1 map per season. You can Google this and search it up, at least Delta Force, and you have to remember they do have the extraction mode. There's been occasions where they've actually released 3 to 4 maps per season, but we're not allowed to include the extraction mode maps. But they mainly released 2 maps per season. Anywho, let's move on. Have you seen how much time and effort and backstory Team Jade puts into their hero operators? At first I hated the fact that we weren't playing as faceless troopers, but now I absolutely adore it. Oh, my darn phone. I shall return, hold on. Okay, I'm back, which was, if it was my wife, it would have been an hour phone call. So yes, I absolutely adore that we have hero operators for a change. I just wish that we had 1 set for each team, that I wasn't blooming shooting the same character as I'm playing. That just doesn't make sense. Part 3, frames per second and shuttering. I flipping love this. Ender's PC is probably 20 times more expensive than mine. And he only gets 60 frames per second more than me. This will help a lot of you out, by the way. This is because he is using the wrong drivers. The latest doesn't mean the best. The driver that I use is actually over a year old, and my game is as smooth as butter. But don't take my word for it, just watch some of my past videos. The frames per second is in the corner. It's about 100 to 140 frames a second. I don't have a problem. I even made a video using a 14-year-old card and a processor. The driver doesn't even, the last driver was about 5 or 6 years ago. I still got 100 frames a second out of it. Okay, that's it. Until Enders uploads another video next week explaining why he doesn't like Delta Force, but enjoys farming views for it.
Dude, why is Luna in the game? Why is Luna in the game?
Just stop playing, man. Just stop. If you don't enjoy it, just stop. What do you chaps think of Delta Force as a whole? I'd love to know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Cheerio, chaps. Bye, byes. Bye, byes.